Okay, we're back and we're going to look at some of the exercises that go with Chapter 6, Part A. These are the exercises, and I'm going to be over here for a second. Hopefully it'll still keep recording because I think I'm talking about enough. Ugh, love my new camera. Anyway, exercises 6.1 starts on 203 in your book. So get there. Pause me if you need to. What we're going to do is look at basically one or two samples in each one, so you know what to do with those from the homework and just in general. Exercise 6.1, it's on page 203, and it says identify each of the following statements as a conjunction, disjunction, or conditional. Identify its component statements and indicate the symbol used to represent the connective. So here we're just looking at the words on the page. Okay, so in number 2, okay, so 6.1, number 2, it says either I walk home or I drive Ralph's car. Okay, that's my sentence. And so what I'm looking for here is what kind of sentence is it? I'm trying to make this show up, okay? So my connector is or, okay, which over here tells me it's a disjunction, so that's my first answer. Okay. My component parts are the pieces of, well, I say the elements of the sentence that give me the relationship, okay? So my elements are here. The first element is I walk home. The second element is I drive Ralph's car. Okay, those are my two components. So let's see, it says indicate the symbol used to represent the connective. Okay, you can put it anywhere you want. Here, okay, it's a V, it's the little wedge. Lowercase v is how we type it on the computer, okay? Easy peasy, right? Not too bad. So do your other ones in 6.1 that way. 6.2 says, translate each of the following statements into symbolic form. Use the letters in parentheses to represent each component statement. Assume that the letters stand for positive statements. Something is the case, okay? So that a negated statement, anything that says not, is indicated by adding the tilde, the negation in front of a letter, okay? So we're going to look at number 6, okay? 6.2, number 6. And it says, provided Alex returns the money, he will not be prosecuted. Okay, that's my sentence. Now, back in the section of the book that talks about our ors and ands and all of that, and actually for this one on page 202, so right across the way, it's going to quit on me if I don't do that. Provided introduces the antecedent, the first part. It would be translated with an if, okay? So provided is really if, okay? That's a little bit of translation. Okay, so my if needs a then, so I know it's a conditional. Okay, so my first answer is conditional, and the symbol is the arrow. Okay, my constituent parts, Alex returns the money, he will not be prosecuted. Okay, and that's just what you have to write here. Is that what I'm supposed to do? No, that's not what I'm supposed to do, sorry. We'll see if I edit that out. We're supposed to use the letters in parentheses to get there, right? So we have, for number 6, we have X and Y. Okay, so I have my two parts. So my first part is my first variable, X. My second part is my next variable, Y, but I have this, okay? So I have to put the little tilde in there. So the way I would represent this in our standard form is if X, then not Y. Okay, so it would look like that. Not too bad? Okay. Dean, turn the page. 6.3 says to indicate which of the following statements are true and which are false. Now, we can look at it and tell you, yes, this is true, this is false. But we have to figure out where they fit in those lovely little tiny truth tables that we had up on the board last time. And I erased because I don't have enough space on my camera to do that. In fact, I think I have to move the camera anyway. So let's see if I remember how to do this right. I want, yay, I remembered. I want it to go over here. Okay. So then we have 6.3, and it says indicate which of the following statements are true and which are false. Okay. So number 3, because I think it's kind of interesting. Number 3 says not dogs are reptiles and not alligators are mammals. So we're using some of our background knowledge to figure out the truth and falsity of our statements, okay? So my first statement, dogs are reptiles. That statement by itself is false, yes? But we have this. Okay, so not false is true. And alligators are mammals. Well, that's false. But it also has a tilde in front, so that means it's not. So not false is true. True and true, as we know from our little charts, it's the only time my conjunction is true, is when both of my constituents are true. So this is a true statement. Okay? So that's how you do the ones in number 3. Be careful, watch for the tildes. Okay? Again, not horrible, just weird. 6.4 is another version of the which ones are true and which ones are false based on some variables, okay? And for 6.4, we have to assume, and it gives us this, that the variables A, B, and C are true, P, Q, and R are false, okay? So not horrible. So in 6.4, number 5, okay, we have not B, if not B, then not Q, okay? So A, B, and C are true. Let's see. A, B, and C are true, okay? So I have a not true, P, Q, and R false, and a not false, okay? So I have to figure out this way. Not true ends up being false. Not false ends up being true. So in our conditional chart, back on page 201, we would see that if our first element is false, but our second element is true, we have a true statement. Okay, so this one's true. And that's how you do 6.4. Let's see, I wonder if I can get another one on here. I have to walk over here and see how much room I have. Okay, I'm really blind. So, let's see. We need to start with, I like to do a lot of different things. We did that one. Oh, we're going to do this one next. Okay, so here's our other one. 6.5, there at the bottom, says to translate each of the symbolic statements in 6.4 into a statement in English. Okay, you need to be creative. Yay, creative. Okay, so for number 5, okay, and I'm not going to be all that creative. Okay, not B. Okay, so we say not cats are pretty. if not cats are pretty, if cats are not pretty, how do I do this? Okay. If not cats are pretty, then I have to make a false statement. Sometimes you have to work at it. Okay, cats are evil, although some people disagree with me. If not cats are evil, then not penguins can fly. Okay? Is that right? B has to be a true statement. I have it backwards. I am so sorry. Okay. Cats are pretty. Penguins can swim. That's true. That's false. Sorry. Fly. Okay. There we go. That's my English sentence to match my 6.4 number 5. Good luck with that. I don't know if I gave you those in homework. Hopefully I didn't, because that was kind of weird. Okay, 6.6. 6.6 says, translate each of these into symbolic form and assume that the letters you use stand for positive statements. You can go back to using all P's and Q's. Oops, back on camera. You can go back to using all P's and Q's, or you can pick your letters however you want to, okay? So let's do number 9. 6.6, number 9, says, provided I pass my logic course, I will finally be able to fathom political arguments. Very important this time of year. Okay, that's my sentence. So my job is to put this into symbolic form. Okay? I'm going to put this into symbolic form. The book is heavy, you guys know that. And I have to figure out my pieces here, right? So provided, like we did on 6.2, is if. Find my comma, that's my then. So I passed my logic course. I will finally be able to fathom political arguments. My first one is P. My second one is Q. So it's if P, then Q. And that's all you have to have. Okay? So that's about it for Chapter 6A exercises. There's another video coming on 6B, looking at 2 variable arguments, not just our little truth tables. So I hope you'll have a look at that as well. So thanks much. Happy day.